So, Pookie, you know what the topic is?
I do, Bob. It's all about the holidays.
How to not only survive,
yes,
but how to thrive during the holidays. That's right. And so this is a big topic. In fact, we're on the cusp, if it will. We're at the beginning of the holiday season. We've just passed Thanksgiving. The Christmas season is right ahead. And it's kind of like, I know it's one of your favorite things. It's kind of like the morning after a snowfall when there's snow on the ground, no footprints or anything.
No.
It's clear.
It's just
virgin territory.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's pristine, untouched.
That's right.
Right. And here we are getting ready to dive into the flurry of holiday festivities.
And the snow is often white, kind of like a blank canvas or a blank page.
Yes, yes.
We are still there's an opportunity to write this story, to paint this picture, right?
Yeah, we can start right here at the end of November, just as we begin to embark on our holiday adventure, we can think about how it is that we're going to experience this holiday in a way that supports us.
Exactly. And we're going to divide this into two categories because we're well aware that different people respond to the holidays in different ways.
Yep.
I tend to get excited about them. I have warm, fuzzy memories. I enjoy the holidays and even the repetitive Christmas music and the whole spirit of hanging out with friends and greeting each other. That's very appealing to me. So I'm in that category. And do you mostly fall into that?
Yes, I do. I do enjoy the holidays. I love the festivities. I love the, like the peace on earth, goodwill toward men. These are things that, like I hold in my heart all year long, but like it's so amazing to see everyone else kind of holding that too, where we just bring this sharing and caring about one another and gift giving, right? Like we're giving and we're receiving. And there's so many amazing things that happen at this time of the year.
Right.
But there are also years, where it might be a little bit difficult, and maybe for you, that's what you're experiencing right now is a year where you're being challenged, right? Like maybe Christmas has changed for you this year. Maybe, someone that you love very much isn't going to be with you this year for Christmas.
Right, either by distance or by being on the other side of the veil, as they say.
Or maybe some things have changed for you,
Or maybe every year it just brings up, a lot of people are getting more sad during the holidays. So we want to acknowledge this full range. So we're going to be hitting this from two different angles, basically. First, we're going to be talking about if the holidays are positive, how to survive and maintain your balance and all that. And then we'll talk about if it's not an uplifting time of the year and how to make the best of that type of situation. Right. So let's jump into the excited one.
Okay, let's do that.
So I know with some people who are really like the holidays, can kind of go all in.
Or all out.
All in or all out. And so one tip here to make the best of it is moderation. Pace yourself. You may want to attend all the parties, and we're coming out of COVID, and so people are really excited about that social interaction. And so, whoops! I think I accidentally hit something here. Let me get rid of that. Hang on a second. Siri got activated because I think I hit my keyboard there. I'm obviously on a Mac. But yeah, so you need to pace yourself, right? And so that you don't overextend it. So gauge your level of enthusiasm. Are you packing your schedule with too many things? Are you overdoing it, which could lead to burnout, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Too many parties, too much time, not enough planning. So there's so many things that you can do to really support yourself during this time of the year, right? Mm-hmm. One of the things is like, I think about all these people that just go all out, like they have the outrageous outdoor decorations and they have the big tree and, all the presents and everything, just like kind of going overboard. Now, there's some people in my family who do that.
Yeah. We have
and they get really stressed out by it.
Yeah.
Like they wait till the last minute to wrap all the presents and stuff like that.
Guilty.
So then, Christmas Eve, we're sitting there wrapping presents until like 2:00 in the morning. And and so it's just like, there are so many things that you can do to just kind of pace yourself, take it easy, plan ahead, wrap your gifts as you purchase them. Right? Just set up a little wrapping station in your house where it's already all the ribbons and all the tape and everything is already there, and you just have to bring that that item over and wrap it up.
Yeah, and that along with that, that planning ahead is breaking. It's just like any good goal setting advice is taking a big aspiration and breaking it down into bite-sized chunks. And so, don't wait to the last minute to do all your stuff. Do the best that you can to spread it out over a number of weeks and break it up into manageable steps. That includes decorating, gift purchasing if you're doing that, gift buying, wrapping, making plans to meet with people. Like sometimes you wait to the last minute and they already have plans. So, do the best you can to do yourself a favor and plan ahead. Here's a good one now. So sometimes the people who are excited about Christmas have warm memories about that, and they get attached to like this ideal holiday situation, especially if you had this like perfect Hallmark movie kind of, Christmas, maybe you had a number of them years ago, and that's your ideal of what you're shooting for. And you can easily be disappointed if your experience doesn't live up to that. So it's like have realistic expectations and don't compare what you're going through now to the past and rate it by comparison as being less than. What do you? Is there some truth to that?
Absolutely, because things will change. I can remember like my childhood, there were some Christmases that were really amazing, and like my mother was all into decorating and all that stuff. And like our tree was a big deal, and then when I became an adult and I had my own family, my tree became a really big deal. And then there was like one year where I couldn't have a tree. And then, it was just like trying to figure out how to navigate around that. So I got a smaller tree, or I just decorated my mantle. I did what I could to like bring in the energy of Christmas, even though I wasn't able to maintain this holiday tradition that we had of putting up this amazing tree with all of these ornaments, So you just have to find ways to like just shift it up a little bit. And when we're talking about traditions, one thing that you could do is you could start some new holiday traditions for your family. When I was little, we used to make sugar cookies, right? And we'd decorate them with the frosting and all that stuff. Well, now if you're a little bit more health conscious, right, you might not want to make.
It's a vegan Christmas,
but you could make like some banana bread or some other things, or string popcorn and put that on your tree. Just other things that you could do, building other traditions. So, what is it that you care about in the holiday season, and how can you bring some sort of like tradition into that into the holiday spirit?
And I like that, starting new traditions that will be good memories in the future. But along with that, being realistic, a lot of times it has to do with people, like especially if you have warm memories of when like everyone was available, they all came over to the house this one year or maybe multiple years, and now that's not the case. People moved, they're busy, they have families, and so you're attached to this this memory of the past, but the danger here is that you're putting your happiness in the hands of other people's decisions and other people's behavior. And when you do that, you can never win that.
You'll always be disappointed. Always.
So beware when you find yourself being attached to decisions that other people are making. I mean, I know it can be disappointing. We were just talking to a friend today that he's not able to see his grandkids during the holidays because of some family strife, and they always want them to come over to their place and never to his. And so, I know it can be a little difficult, but do your best to find a way to enjoy the holidays the best you can without relying on other people to do certain things for
in
you
a very certain specific way,
and have that be attached to your joy, because that's then a couple of other things.
That's not easy though.
It's not easy at all. Better easier said than done. That's for sure. It's okay to say no. That's, again, if your calendar is being is booked up, people are inviting you to parties or whatever, asking you to do something, you go, thanks for the invitation, but I'm not gonna be able to do that. I won't be able to help you because I'm putting my priority on other things this holiday season. And then maintain healthy habits, not just eating habits, which is a big one. We're all distracted by the goodies at Christmas time.
Oh my goodness.
But don't get away from your, whatever it is, your meditation practice, your workout routine, affirmations. So to keep doing those.
Right. And your healthy eating guidelines, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So just pay attention, not that you wouldn't give to yourself and not that you wouldn't enjoy the holidays and have fun, but think of everything in like moderation, right? And so just not going too overboard one way or the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here's just general ones before we shift over into the maybe with Christmas not being so pleasant. Just having a tolerance of family members. That's often a cause of strife for a lot of people. You're going to get together with Uncle so-and-so, and his religious or political beliefs don't gel with mine, and it's going to be friction. And just accept that that's what you already know that about him. Just accept that that's what's going to be. Love him as best you can. And there's a note here: be the Switzerland of the family. Stay neutral. Don't get involved in the wars.
Yeah, you can just be the silent observer, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to engage, especially like in a gathering where you have family members and there's so much going on in the world. It's possible that something could bubble up out of somebody's mouth. And hopefully it's not yours, but something could show up, and you can take that moment to just take a deep breath, just breathe in, and just release and be the observer, be the silent witness in this moment, as to not agitate the situation or kind of. Right, bring some energy into the room that you don't want to. You just definitely don't want to have conflicts at family gatherings, and there's such a potential for it because it's like the one time of the year where your family will gather, and so maybe you haven't seen them all year. Maybe you haven't seen them since last Christmas, and you don't really know what's going on in their life, because some of these big family gatherings are just like that, and. And somebody might say something, that, right, just doesn't sit right with you. You can choose in that moment to just kind of bow and acknowledging that is who that person is, and that they get to be that way. They get to. I know it's crazy sometimes. And just allow yourself to step back from it and not engage in it, so that you don't have a story about this Christmas that involves you and another person.
That's right.
Not getting along or having an interaction that
can be the Switzerland of the family.
Yeah,
stay neutral.
Stay in joy.
That's right.
Right.
Stay
everything.
If you're confident in who you are, just and you stay centered, as I like to say, then you will be better off.
Yeah, stay in joy. Yeah. And just realize too, think about it like this, because I've often thought, is this worth me surrendering my joy for?
That's a great question to
ask.
Is
this worth it? Is getting involved in this conversation worth me surrendering my joy? And then you get to, probably not. Probably not. So how is it that you want to feel in these environments? How do you want to feel? And then operate from that place of being. Activate that feeling within your body. Something shows up that's in conflict with how you want to feel, let it go. Just move on past it.
Exactly. I think some of those tips will apply to this next thing we're going to shift into for folks who, again, maybe in general, the holidays are not the happiest time for a variety of reasons.
I know a few people.
Here's some quick tips here for that one. One is throw guilt out the window. So don't feel bad about feeling bad during the holidays. Give yourself permission to feel that way and have a sense of, in the same way that you're going to accept Uncle Frank or whatever it is, accept yourself as well. And maybe know that this might come up. Not that you want to anticipate it, but to acknowledge that I felt this way in the past, so it may come up when it does. You're not surprised, but just be accepting of it. Give yourself some grace.
Yeah, give yourself some grace. Nurture yourself during this time. If you're grieving, if there's grief, and that's the reason why the holidays aren't happy for you this year, allow yourself to experience that grief. And nurture yourself. Be loving and kind to yourself. Find ways that you can give to yourself. Absolutely. Go and buy something for yourself and wrap it and put it under the tree, or loving, nurturing ways like give yourself a bubble bath, take yourself out to dinner. If you don't feel like being around others, that's okay too. If you're feeling kind of isolated, and I just said if you don't feel like being around others, that's okay, and it is. But if you're feeling kind of isolated, it might be a good idea to reach out to someone and just let them know, hey, look, I'm just feeling kind of alone this Christmas, and maybe you could keep an eye on me or just check in with me every every couple of days or something like
Or just
that.
reach out to people to have conversations. Just have that social interaction, whether you talk about your sadness or not, can be uplifting. It can help release some of that pressure valve. Because you're right. A lot of people who feel sad, they think they're the only ones. Everybody else is out celebrating, so I'm going to withdraw and I'm going to be in isolation. But you're not the only one.
No.
So reach out, because that social contact, especially with people who you know are going to support you and care about you. That doesn't mean you have to wallow in it and make it part of your story. Although if that's helpful to get it out, you can, the good friend, you can do that as well. But just talking to people, communicating, whether by phone, Zoom, in person, whatever it is, just do your best to reach out to others. Mm-hmm. You can never go wrong. We've talked about this often, but practicing gratitude. It's a great time of the year just to be thankful for the good stuff in your life, even though you may feel something's missing or there may be a negative.
Well, what's the gratitude and what's missing?
Yeah.
There has to be something that was really beautiful about that, whatever that is, whether it be a person, a place, a job, whatever it is.
The time of your life that you treasure.
Right? Yeah. So just have gratitude for that which you're grieving. What are the things that you can be grateful for in your grief? And something, like I've often heard it said, like when you're really going through a really difficult time and you feel like, you're not loved or supported, you just don't feel supported. Not loved might be in there too, but one thing that you can do is go and give to others. Go volunteer, go work, go walk, go to the homeless. There's a homeless center here in St. Louis, and on Thursday nights you can meet with people at 7:00, and you can go and visit the homeless camps and bring blankets and things like that. So if you're feeling really sad this holiday season, see about maybe doing something really beautiful and wonderful and good for another. And you know what? Believe it or not, there's something that happens when we give in that way, when we give our hearts and we volunteer and we show up for people who are less fortunate than we are. Something happens for us on a really deep level, and it changes us. And so, I've often told people when they need help, if you really need help, go help somebody.
Yeah. It's the best way to lift yourself up too. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Yeah. Pamper yourself. Self-care is so important. Nurture yourself, give yourself a lot of grace. Sometimes people are sad because they feel, there's the commercialization commercialization of the holidays, and people don't like that. That's all about buying stuff, and if you're short on money, you go, I don't want to go to that parties. I can't afford a gift, or I can't participate in that gift giving thing, and I don't want to stand out and blah blah blah. Well, there's many different ways of giving gifts. You can hand make something, something that's a unique creation that would be special, meaningful to somebody that you're giving it to.
We had beautiful cards made for us when we were in Florida.
Oh yeah,
beautiful handmade cards that had our name, and they were kind of like doodly, And it was just something simple like that. How about all kinds of things you can make? What's really important too? What's better than money? Oh my gosh, time.
Yeah.
Time, right? So there were many years that I didn't have money to do Christmas. And so I would create dates with people. I would say this, I'd make little like coupons, like this ticket is good for a lunch date with Pooki, at my house, and so that I could make them lunch or something like that, and they could come and they could visit, or it was good for a date in the park or at the botanical garden or something like that, or going to the movies or just something like that. Something that you could do with them where you're sharing time rather than buying something and giving, like for me, like the commercialization of Christmas it hasn't sat well with me for a real long time. People get into a lot of debt for no good reason, and really there's so much more that we have that we can give to each other held within our own being, like our time, our heart, our compassion, our care. And so like, as you're looking at that Christmas list and you're looking down the names of all of those people, think about when was the last time that you spent time with that person? When was the last time that you spent time with that person? right? Can you think of maybe some things that you might be able to do? Gifts of time, creating experiences are so much more valuable to me. I have an abundance of things, right? So I don't need any more things. Bob and I went to the store the other day and bought him a couple of shirts. Just nothing, so it's just like, but to go and spend time with him, to have a date with him, and to go out and have dinner and see a show, that would be like amazing to me. So think about what are some of the other things that you could do that don't necessarily involve money. And I think that those are the most cherished ones of all. I have all of my handmade gifts that have been given to me, all my little scarves and mittens and booties and all kinds of things, right? And I remember who gave these things to me and how they were made, and and it means something. It means so much more. So believe me, if you're struggling with money right now, and a lot of people are, things have gotten pretty pricey these days, know that you are enough. That who you are is enough during this holiday season. And if you have children and, you want to give to them and you're not able to, first off, they already know that. They know that the money's not there, to have an outrageous Christmas. But you can do things with them or for them, like pajama party nights, sit down and do cartoon binges and things like. There's all kinds of things that you can do to get really creative in your giving and because we give gifts to people because we want to let them know that they matter to us, right? You mean something to me. I want to give this thing to you. It's so much better when we're actually giving something of ourselves and telling someone that they matter. And I prefer it over store-bought gifts and things like that. So much more, Bob knows.
Yes, you do. This is great stuff. We're going to wrap this up because we're already like 21 or 22 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, time flies. Just one more quick thing. This kind of relates to the same thing the advice that we had for the people that were excited is that quite often, sometimes when your sadness is attached to a memory of the past or something, the way something used to be that's no longer that way, or it could be attached to a negative memory that you keep on playing over and over again every holiday season. It reminds you of that bad thing that happened. But so stop or focus on today. Focus on starting new traditions, new happy memories that'll be memories in the future, and try to detach from the past. Start a new thing for yourself, and just stop that movie from endlessly playing, the one that's not serving you, that's not entertaining. It's not making you smile.
And kind of has got you in a funk.
Robbing you of your joy.
Yeah.
And just start playing a new movie because in your mind, you are the director of whatever you want to create.
Oh my gosh, that's so true.
Isn't that beautiful? So write a new movie with a Hallmark ending. Or whatever.
It's your story. You get to write it however you want. You
That's
get to
right.
feel however you want to feel in it too.
That's right. So we just wanted to share these tips since we're on the cusp of this holiday season.
Yeah.
So yes. So anyway, yeah. Thanks for listening to this. Thanks for recording it before you headed off to Hawaii and Japan.
Yep.
And now it's back to you, Bob.
Sayonara.
So long.